All right, it is so nice here today. I'm gonna leave my door open. Hopefully mosquitoes don't attack me. We're gonna start in Shavasana. Have a foam roller and at least one block close by. Lie down on your back. If you want a prop under, I would do a block, not the foam roller yet. We'll get there. Under your pelvis or your rib cage. This is just a really powerful way to ground yourself in your class. I invite you tonight, if you want, so to get if you're using your block under your pelvis, if you want tonight to try to put it on the second level. So to do that, bend your knees so your feet are on the floor, lift your hips up, and then bring your block to the next height. So it's kind of like the 5 or 6 inch height, not the 3.5 or 4 inch height. A couple things to do with your legs. You can leave them like this, bent. You can also open your knees and bring the soles of your feet together so you're in a butterfly pose. This is going to put your legs into an external rotation at the hip. Depending on how it feels on your inner part of your leg, you might move your feet just further or closer towards or away from. So pick a position. And option number 3 would be to straighten your legs if you are using your block under your pelvis on the higher setting. So this is a pretty intense back bend if you have your legs straight. If it hurts, don't do it. If it feels like quote unquote sweet discomfort is okay. I mean, and okay in air quotes, sweet discomfort also in air quotes. Oh, hello, here comes my husband. Yes?
Are you doing the class down here?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to the courthouse.
No.
I told you I was going to work out.
I have a class at 7 on Mondays, which is happening right now. Okay, there goes Dino. He was going to come work out, but anyway. Dino moved his weights into my yoga room, and he likes to work out in the heat, which is pretty cool, which is also a contradiction. I said heat, cool. Anyway, we'll just take about 3 more breaths in this position. Breathing through your nose on the exhale as well as the inhale. If you have your feet together, your knees open in butterfly, you might have to use your hands to lift your knees up. It also helps to slide your feet closer towards your body. Everyone, bend your knees, feet on the floor. Push your feet into the floor and firm your glutes. So squeeze and lift your pelvis and take your block out. Lower your hips. Lower your hips. Once your sacrum is down, you can extend your legs and turn your palms up. Relax in Shavasana. Try to take an inhale for 6 counts and then retain the breath for like 4 and then exhale for 6 counts. And do that again. Inhale 6, Pause for 4 and exhale for 6. Breathing through the nose. Take 2 more rounds like this, but if you'd like, you can add a 4 count retention after the exhale. So it'd be inhale 6, hold for 4, exhale 6, hold for 4, and then repeat. If you know what your locks are, the bandhas, at the top of the inhale during the retention, engage your root and your belly. So when we talk about engagement of bandhas, it's the lift of the muscles at the pelvic floor and then belly in. And then let it go during the exhale. And then if you're doing the second retention, add the locks. So we'll just do a few more rounds. If that's too much, just breathe long, slow, and deep. And finish up the round of breath that you're on. Wherever you are, make sure you complete your conscious breathing. Bring your knees to your chest, bring your hands onto your shins, and rock. Rock in whatever directions make sense. I'm just starting side to side. Hands on the shins or the back of your legs. You can interlace your fingers. If you'd like, you can also grab your wrists or your forearms, your elbows. Come back to center, release your arms out to the side, and just for a second, take a moment and kind of clear your space with your hands. Push your blocks away, push your foam roller away. I mean, the stuff is still within reach, but not like if you were to make snow angels, your blocks would not be in your way. Take your arms out to a T from the shoulder. Keep your legs bent, squeeze your knees together. Take both knees to the right. Push your hands into the floor, inhale, knees to center, and exhale, both knees to the left. Inhale, knees to center, and continue the movement on your breath. So it's exhale to one side, and then inhale to center. Hug your belly in, especially on that exhale. This is called the stomach churning pose. So it's a moving kriya. Kriya are active sequences. do one more to each side. Now find your block and bring it between your knees. Take your arms out again, shoulder height, and turn your palms face down. Block between your knees. Hug your legs together, squeeze so the block will not budge. Take a breath. Exhale, knees to the right. And inhale, center. Careful on your back. Exhale, knees to the left. Knees center. And again. Stomach churning pose. Let's do one more each side. Back to center. When you're ready, back to center. Now lift your legs all the way to the ceiling with the block between your knees. And I'm going to reposition my block just a little bit more, just below my knees. So on my, between my thigh bones, palms face down. Squeeze the block with your legs. Let's try this. Ready? Both legs to the right. And they might not come down as low. That's okay. Push your hands into the floor. Inhale to center. And exhale both legs to the left. Center. Let's do one more to each side. Be careful. And if you need to, you can bend your knees. Inhale, center. Exhale, both legs to the left. Inhale, center. Bend your knees, feet on the floor. Keep your block between your knees and come to bridge pose. Arms come alongside your body. Reach for your heels and squeeze your knees around the block. Lift up your hips, bridge. See if you can walk your shoulder heads underneath you more so your shoulders are in line with your heels, like we do camel pose. Camel pose. Push your feet into the floor, squeeze the block with your knees and lift your hips. Gently lower. You can remove your block. So remove your block, set it to your side. And stretch your legs out. Full, long, slow, deep breaths. Let's do one more ab-related kriya. Bring your hands behind your head, bend your knees. Bend your knees and then touch the soles of your feet together, outer edges of your feet on the floor. So it's butterfly pose. Butterfly pose with your legs and hands behind your head, elbows wide. Inhale, lift both ends, head and feet lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, knees wide, elbows wide, and lower. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. And exhale, control. Elbows wide, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. One more. Lower. Bring your hands to the outer part of your legs, scoop up your knees. Walk your heels in again, close towards your hips. Bridge pose, press down through your upper arms, your shoulders, lift your hips, and notice how different it feels without the block. Press down into the floor with your feet. Press the upper arms down and arch your spine. Warming up shoulders, hamstrings, glutes. Preparing for a little bit more rigorous to come, but Go ahead, lower your hips down. Stretch your legs out, arms to your sides. Not going to do anything too crazy rigorous tonight. Notice your heartbeat. Okay, now before we come upright, find your foam roller, roll to one side. I'm gonna have to sit up, come onto an elbow, and slide your foam roller under your shoulder blades like we would do if you were putting a block under your shoulder blades. So feet on the floor, knees bent, bring your hands behind your head. The foam roller is like rib cage, shoulder blades area. Hands behind your head, support the weight of your head so your neck does not feel strained. Gently start to relax your upper body over the block and, kind of moderate where you are by moving your spine, like arch your spine up a little bit or roll it down a little bit if this is a little too much on your back. Take a few more breaths. Feel the stretch front of the chest, elbows. Jaw. What is your jaw doing? What are your eyes doing? Can you relax your jaw, your eyes? Okay. Now, lift your hips up a few inches off the floor and start to roll up and down. Roll up and down. Keep the elbows wide. Now start to add a little bit of a tick-tock. Rotate to the right and to the left. So I call this Jack in the Box. It's really the only thing that makes sense in my head. Like when a Jack in the Box open and it kind of goes brown, except we're going slow motion. So tick-tock right and tick-tock left. If you guys have jobs where you're reaching forward all day long, which I know you do, this is kind of magic for your chest, your rhomboids, trapezius, so the muscles on the upper back. And it feels good. Take a deep breath in, 8 counts. Inhale. Exhale, if you can, for 8. Exhale often isn't as long as inhale. Make sure you're not rolling over your hair. Let's do like 20 more seconds in this tick-tock Jack in the Box. So the rolling occurs between the rib cage and shoulder blades. Just file that away in your brain for when you want to do it later. Lower your hips back to the floor. Keep your elbows just where they are and see if you can relax your upper body a little bit more behind or over the foam roller. Stretch your legs out. Take a few tick-tocks here with your legs outstretched. If it's too much on your neck to have your body resting over the roller, start to support the weight of your neck with your hands more. And we just have like 2 more breaths. Okay, roll to your neck and take your arms alongside you. And I'm actually gonna sit on my wrists. So if that feels like something your body wants to do, Palms down, sit on your wrists. You can bend or straighten your legs, up to you. Roll your head side to side. Roll your head side to side. Be gentle. And visualize some healing and some space back there. Feel free to readjust where your hips are, where your body is, and where the roller is. Do this in a non-aggressive way. Sometimes we can get carried away with rolling. There's lots of benefit to it, and then you can cross the line. I'm sure you've likely experienced that. Bring your head back to center. Okay, very carefully remove the roller and lie back again on your back. Stretch your legs out, your arms out. Stay present, like embody yourself. Stay present. Feel how there are shifts. Feel how your blood pressure is changing, how the tissues are responding. Let's do a few shoulder circle shrugs just while we're on the floor. And then back to stillness. Now roll your head side to side a few times. And then head back to stillness. Bend your knees so your feet are on the floor. Slide your hips over to the right, roll onto your left side and rest. You can bring your hands, arms underneath the left side of your head. Take a few breaths in this transitional posture. Now, right hand to the mat, press yourself up and find a block. We're gonna sit now. Up to you if you sit kneeling. I'm sitting on the block. So you can sit kneeling or cross-legged. If you decide to sit cross-legged, pull your knees open wider. So your heels line up right in your center. Instead of like crisscross applesauce, it's easier on your knees, or I find it easier on the knees. So you can sit with heels in one line or in the kneeling position. If you're kneeling, hands onto your knees. If you're crisscross, bring your hands onto your ankles and inhale, chest forward, eyes up. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. So it's cat and cow. Inhale, exhale. Seated cat cow. Continue. Exaggerate the movements. So exaggerate this cat pose, rounding belly in, and exaggerate the cow pose, arching, opening the throat, opening the spine. Loosen your hands. Your hands can just kind of slide. You don't have to grip. Now start to speed up the breath. So it's a sharper inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Same movement. Inhale, exhale, forward, back, go. 5 more. Come to center. All right, so you will want to sit cross-legged for the next 2 of these moving kriya. Cross-legged, it doesn't matter which foot is forward. If you're commonly going to, left foot forward, or switch it so the other foot is forward. Bring your hands onto the top of your shoulders, spine tall. Engage the lower locks, root lock, belly. So like you're putting on a tight pair of jeans. Zip everything up, hands on your shoulders. Inhale to the left and exhale to the right. Inhale, sharp. Inhale, exhale. You can close your eyes, keep moving. Close your eyes and direct them in and up. Third eye focus. Inhale, exhale. Five more. Come to center. Bring your hands onto your ankles, sit tall. Just breathe, observe. Okay, one more. So in this cross-legged position, hands on the thighs, we will take a big inhale and then hold the breath, engaging the locks. So root lock and belly lock. So inhale, hold. Now churn your rib cage. And then exhale back to center. Try it again. Take a few normal breaths in between. Inhale, hold the breathing, root lock, belly lock, churn the rib cage. And exhale. We'll do it again. See if you can move the opposite direction that you're accustomed to going. I always forget which way I went. So we'll do it twice more. Take a moment, decide which direction. Take a breath in, belly in, root lock, rotate. And relax. Last one. Inhale, hold, and go the opposite way. Exhale, relax. And just observe. Big breaths. These are some Kundalini style kriya to help kind of channel your energy, holding it from the root to the throat. Feels really powerful. It's very powerful, very potent. Come off of your block. Let's come to hands and knees. Gently rotate your rib cage a few times here. Go 3 one direction, and then 3 the other direction. Like a barrel roll. Roll your chest. And make your way to down dog. Back to center, down dog. Turn your toes under. And pedal out your feet. Just breathe long, slow, and deep. Take the knees back to the mat and step your right foot forward between your hands. Top of your left foot to the floor. Shift your hips forward so your right knee comes past your right foot. And let's move side to side a couple times, right and left. I'm gonna move on to my knuckles so I'm not on my palms. Shift your hips side to side. Let's go one more each direction. Back to center, half split, right heel forward. Walk your hands closer towards your left knee, like halfway between your right heel, your left knee. Point and flex your right foot. Half split, right leg is straight. Move your hips, move your shoulders, breathe. Walk your hands forward, bend your right knee back to lunge. Turn your left toes under, palms flat. Straighten your left leg and step your right foot back to dog. Relax your neck and head. Push into the floor with your index finger, your ring finger, your thumb. Take your knees back to the floor and slide your left foot forward between your hands. Hands on either side of your left foot. So mine are about as wide as my mat even. So they're wider than shoulder width in this lunge position. And again, you can be on your fingertips, your palms, your knuckles. Shift your hips side to side. Explore your range of motion. Man, what is this tightness today? Back to center. Left side half split, left foot forward. Walk your hands in line with your left knee, if that makes sense for you. Point and flex your left foot. Make circles with your ankle, your foot, your toes. One more round of long, slow, deep breath. Bend your left knee, hands to the mat. Lunge. Turn your right toes under and step left foot back again to dog. Shift into a plank. Take your knees to the floor. Top of the feet to the floor now, hips to your heels, child's pose. Stretch your arms forward. Really reach out through the fingertips. Crawl your fingers forward. Reach longer with the fingers. Spread out your palms. And inhale to a table position, but bring your shoulders past your fingertips. Bend your elbows and squeeze your rib cage as you lower to the mat. Pull your shoulder heads back, your elbows in, toes stay down, eyes up for low cobra. And exhale back to the floor. Press up through all fours to child's pose, hips to heels. Now let's do that again. Inhale forward. Spread out the fingers, bend your elbows lower. Elbows in, elbows in, elbows in, lower. Shoulders back, elbows in, toes down, low cobra, eyes up, and lower back to the floor. Press into the floor with your hands, table to child's pose. Okay, this next round, option to come to plank, chaturanga dandasana to up dog, and down dog, or child's pose. So stay with me. Either come to plank or table, bend your elbows lower wherever you are, knees might be on the floor, up dog or cobra, and back either to child's pose or down dog. Again, plank or the modified plank, table, lower hover, up dog or cobra, and child's pose or down dog. Let's do it again. Table or plank, lower, cobra or up dog, and child's pose or down dog. Child's pose for everyone. Arms to your sides this time. Breathe into your mid back. Push your belly onto your thighs. Take one more breath. Reach your arms forward, come to table. Take a cat pose, exhale, round your spine, and inhale to cow pose. Exhale to down dog. And inhale your feet forward between your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, stand up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and side bend to the right. Push your hips over to the left and really stretch into the left side. Rise up, back through center, left hand to right wrist, side bend. Push your hips over to the right, stretch over to the left. And inhale up, open your arms. Bring your hands behind you, supported back bend, hands to hips, elbows in, lift your chest. You can keep your chin at your chest or head back. Head up, come to stand and just hold here. Close your eyes. Focus inward. And sun salute A. Inhale, lift your arms, back bend if you like. Exhale and fold. Fold forward, fingers to the mat, come up partway, inhale. Bend your knees and step one or both feet to plank or jump. Knees down, lower, bend your elbows, top of the feet down. Roll your shoulders back, come to low cobra, eyes up. Release back to the mat, turn your toes under and press back into downward dog. Now look forward and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Bring your Elbows to the insides of your knees and lower your hips toward the floor. Come down as low as makes sense. That might be, higher, lower, depending. Palms press into each other, elbows to the insides of the knees. Shift your weight side to side. Now fire up your legs, hug your belly in. Inhale to stand all the way up. Fire up your legs, reach your arms up. And exhale your arms down, step your feet back together. On an inhale, arms up, hips down, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Lift your hips. Sun salute, B. Come up halfway, inhale. Bend your knees and step both legs back to plank. Knees to the mat. If you like, bend your elbows lower. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale and lift your right leg. Bend your right knee, look forward, right foot between your hands. Take your left heel to the floor. Let's come to warrior two. So the right leg is bent, reach both arms out from the shoulder, right arm forward, left arm behind you. Bend your right knee. Take your hands behind you, squeeze your palms together, interlace and arch your back. Same shape with the legs. Bring your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee for humble warrior. Look down between your, next to your right foot. Release your hands, palms to the floor. Lift your left heel and step your right foot back to down dog. Hold here or flow, coming to plank. Plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Exhale to downward facing dog. And left leg up. Look forward, left foot between your hands. Drop the right heel down. And come to warrior two. Left arm forward, right arm behind you. Bend your left knee. The back foot, right foot flat. Both feet flat. Take your hands behind you, interlace your palms, and arch back, look up. Now bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee, humble warrior. Squeeze your palms, focus, breathe. And look to the inside of your left foot. Release your hands, both hands to the floor. Step your left foot back to down dog. Hold here or flow to plank. Belly in, hug it in, broaden your chest, bend the elbows lower, keep your chest wide. Up dog and down dog. Lift your right leg. Look forward and step your right foot between your hands. Let's take a shorter step. So pull your left heel closer so your feet are about 3 feet apart. Square your body over your right leg. Keep your left hand on the floor where it is. Pull your right sitting bone back and lift your right arm up into revolved triangle. Hug your belly in, come up onto your left fingertips. Look up at your right thumb. Look down, right hand down. Palms flat. Slide the legs back, both legs to down dog. Hold here or flow. Flow to plank. Bend the elbows through chaturanga dandasana. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Look forward and step your left foot between your hands and take the shorter step. So step your right foot in so your heels are about 3 feet apart. Square your body over your left leg. Keep your right hand where it is and lift the left arm up, twist, revolve triangle. Reach and look up at your left thumb, come up high on your right fingertips. Take a full breath. Firm your thighs, exhale. Release your left hand down. Step your right foot forward between your hands and grab your elbows. You can separate your feet. Shake out your neck and head. Switch your forearm grip. Release your hands. Bring your hands to your shins and inhale, come up part way. Exhale, bend your knees and lift your arms up into chair. Utkatasana. Rise up, stand tall, palms to touch and hands come to your heart center. Release your hands, separate your feet and twist in place. Arms are loose, just rotate, twist. Head can move very naturally. So you don't have to keep your head and neck rigid. And shake out your wrists, shake out your arms, your legs. Okay, feet together, eagle pose, eagle pose. Feet together, lift your arms. Bring your right arm under your left. Cross your upper arms, your forearms, and your hands. So it's right arm under left, cross your upper arms, your forearms, your hands. If it's hard to get your hands together, you can push the back of your hands together. This is a good way to open up the shoulders. Bend your knees and sit down. Lift your right leg over your left. Try to get your foot so it wraps behind your left calf. Sit down and squeeze your legs. Squeeze your arms. Hug your belly in. Now keep your hands where they are. No, wait. Let's try. Yeah, keep your hands like this. Unwrap your right leg. I'll turn to the side. Unwrap your right leg. Bring your torso down and stretch your right leg behind you so you're balancing. Balancing with your arms in eagle pose. Bring your feet back together. Inhale your arms up. And left side, bring your left arm under your right. Cross your arms, your forearms, your hands. Bend your knees and sit down. Lift your left leg over your right and see if you can wrap your foot. We'll do this on the floor too. And I'll turn to the side. Keep your hands where they are. Unwrap your left leg and balance your body parallel to the floor. Bring your feet back together. Stand tall, arms up and arms down. Close your eyes unless you feel a little dizzy. Otherwise, tune in, bring your attention inward. Notice your heartbeat. Breathe. Okay, one more balancing pose. Interlace your hands behind you, squeeze your palms. So it's like we did standing in the warrior setup earlier. So squeeze your palms, lift your arms away from you and lift your right leg, bow forward. Come down as far as you can. Maybe your belly comes to your left thigh and your right leg lifts straight up. Squeeze your palms. If you need to, you can, of course, bring your hands to the floor. It's okay. It's okay. It's harder to get back into the pose from there, but try. And rise up. Feet back together, release your hands. Other side, interlace your palms. Left leg behind you, balance. Keep lifting your left leg. Keep lifting your left leg. Bring your belly to your right thigh. Find a focal point. Keep your eyes fixed. Focus. Lift your left leg more. Squeeze your palms more. Open up your chest more. Keep breathing. Always, always breathing. And release, feet together. Release your arms. Notice your heart rate, your breath. Bring your hands to your hips, your low back. I have the heel of my hands just at the very top of my sacrum. Pull your elbows in, lift your chest up and push your hips forward. You can keep your chin at your chest or head back. Move your hips side to side a few times. And back to center, straighten your spine. Separate your feet. Let's go wide. So I'm going to step about 3.5 or 4 feet. Option to take arms out, option to take your hands behind you as we've been doing in a wide-legged forward bend. Firm your thighs, lift your chest, and bend forward. So if hands on the floor makes more sense for you, hands on the floor. If once you get down there and you feel like you could open up your feet more or close your feet, please feel free to do any adjustments. Let's twist the body side to side. So kind of lean right side, left side, stretch into the hips, the legs, the back. If you have your hands in the interlaced position behind you, you can grab an elbow behind you. That might feel a little safer on the shoulder. And the purpose there is really just to keep the chest open. So let's again shift a couple more times. Shift. Start to bend your knees, alternate bending right and left. So not only are you shifting now, you are also alternate bending. All right. Release your hands, make your way into your forward bend. Stillness. Maybe you grab your heels. Maybe hands are on the floor. Maybe you even crawl your fingers under, like between your feet and then further behind you. Three more breaths. and make your way forward. Shorten up your step so you're in about a shoulder width apart with your feet. Bend your knees again and lower your hips. So we're coming back into this squat position. Elbows to the insides of the knees. Push your elbows to the insides of the knees. Push your knees to the inside to the elbows and lift your spine. Release your hands down. If you want to take a crow, this would be a good place for it. Release your hands down, palms flat to the mat. If you want crow, you can take your knees to your armpits, lift your heels up, bring the weight forward, and then lift one or both feet off of the mat. So if crow isn't feeling like in your wheelhouse tonight, we're going to come to Shavasana really soon, so we can meet you in Shavasana. So crow, hands are shoulder width apart, look forward and lift one or both feet, the knees to the inside of the triceps, armpits. All right, now, Adam, since you have 2 blocks, before you come to the floor, blocks on the lower setting. We're going to do a couple different things. From the crow position that we're in right now, hands as wide as they were, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder. Push your hands into the floor and lift your feet. And then come back onto your toes. Try that a few times. It's called Lolasana. So earlier with the locks, this is instructive for any of these lifted poses. So think about root lock, belly lock, throat lock, and lift. Root lock, belly lock, throat lock, lift. Root lock, belly lock, throat lock, lift, and lower. So it's a lot of ab work and engagement. The next one, bring your blocks a little bit closer toward the hips and lift here, same thing. Bring your legs forward and then see if you can bring them back. Forward and then back. So this is Lolasana, building toward the jump throughs. Give it a couple good tries. And I know, Paige, you're like, why don't I have 2 blocks? I could be balancing and stretching. Legs forward and back. Legs forward and back. Whew. It's hot. All right. Last but not least, come to a cross-legged position. So the blocks are next to the hips, under your shoulders, basically. And you can keep the outer edges of your feet on the floor, lift and lower. Lift, cross your ankles and lower. Lift, switch, lower. Lift, switch, lower. Now lift. Don't let your feet touch, cross, lower. Lift and lower. Let's do 2 more. Lift, cross, lower, and lower. Whew, that's hot. We build heat. This is to burn impurities. Now we get to lie down on our back. So lie down, stretch out, and breathe. Let's move toward some long held postures. First, a few rounds of breath. Heart rate coming lower, breathing through the nose. All right, bend your knees and just gently rock side to side, hands on your shins. Set your feet on the floor, knees bent. Cross your left thigh over your right. Okay, so eagle pose is similar, but I want you to try here for eagle pose, which we did, where you cross your arms and cross your legs. So cross your left foot, maybe behind your right shin. Are you able to do it here? Give it a try. And maybe lying down, you can get the arm. So we'll do left arm under the right, cross, and then forearms cross, and then hands. So this is eagle. When you're not balancing, it might, feel a little more successful. Release your arms, keep your legs like this, but just uncross your left foot. So only the left thigh is over the right at this point. Now slide your both legs over to the left and bring both knees over to the right. So this is called twisted roots pose. And we're gonna be here for a little while. I'm gonna set a timer. So left leg over the right leg, cross and bring both knees over to the right. Stretch your arms wherever feels good. I like mine kind of like a cactus shape, or like kind of a letter Y, capital Y. And then just breathe, close your eyes, bring your attention inward. Yeah, that's it. And just relax. Looks like I lost one of you guys. Nothing like some stillness after just kind of a mellow, full body asana practice. Mellow, easy breath. The only demand is just staying present. Take a 6 count breath in. And as you exhale, relax your legs and roll onto your back. Straighten your legs as soon as it feels safe. Starting from the base of your ribs, take an inhale and draw down, expand your belly. Inhale bigger than you think you can. And then exhale, reverse it. So from the very bottom, the belly lowers, the diaphragm lifts. Let's do one more. And exhale. Okay, so other side, bend your knees and cross your right thigh over the left. So this would be like we did on the other side, kind of like eagle pose. See if you can get your right foot behind your left. Let's do the arms. Take your right arm under the left in front of your chest, and then cross your forearms, and maybe your hands come together. This is eagle pose. So sometimes practicing a posture in a different foundation can be effective in informing the posture. Go ahead and release your arms out to the side, and unwrap the right foot. So you're still in the twisted roots setup with the right thigh over the left. Bring both hips over to the right side and both knees over to the left side. And here's our next 3 minutes in this posture. It's a twist to the spine, the hips, the shoulders. I heard a nice story on a yoga podcast I listened to called Wisdom of the Sages. A young monk decided he wanted to know what a true devotee looked like. So he asked if he could leave his ashram and trek to another ashram to find out. It took him months and months of walking to reach this ashram. And when he finally connected with the guru, the monk asked, what does a true disciple look like? And the guru says, I'll tell you, but I just need your help I need you to help me with something. And the guru put the monk to work for many, many months, 6 months. And the young monk just dutifully followed the orders. At the end of 6 months, the guru said, okay, I'm done with you now, thank you. But you had a question, what was your question? And the young monk said, I want to know what a true devotee looks like. The guru says to him, a true devotee looks like a rooster, salt, a crane, and a true devotee looks like you. And kind of puzzled, the young monk left this ashram and trekked back to his home ashram. And his teacher, once he arrived, he said, "Oh, what did our great guru say? What does a true devotee look like?" And still puzzled, the young monk says, "A rooster, salt, a crane." And like me, he was a little surprised. And his teacher laughs and smiles and says, "That's wonderful. A rooster can peck through anything and find something beautiful, something nourishing." And salt is essential, foundational. If you think of a recipe, the best curry in the world, you never think of the salt. You think of the ginger and the cumin, the turmeric, but you don't think of the salt. It's very basic. It is essential. Go ahead and unwrap your legs. Arms come in. Roll to your back. Roll to your back. Stretch your legs out. So a rooster can pick through anything and find something nourishing. Salt is simple, basic, but essential. The crane hunts standing in the water on one leg. Many little fish go by. He doesn't even look at them. He doesn't even bother. The many, many little fish go by, and he patiently waits until the big fish, and he strikes the big fish. So the crane, this great skill to let the little things go and only take care of the big things. Go after the big fish. And then the true devotee also looks like the young monk, willing, dutiful. So there's a contrasting amount of information there. So the rooster picks through and just, takes the nuggets. Salt, very foundational, basic. The crane is the hunter, but only goes after the big ideas. And that duty and willingness is required, faith. Take a big stretch, reach your arms over your head. Okay, since you have 2 blocks, the last thing we'll do requires 2 blocks. Flip over onto your belly and bring blocks on the middle setting again. So the taller setting, not the very, very tallest. We'll start middle, under your chest and at an angle. So let's see, the best way to describe this is that, I don't know, like a 45-degree angle. So the blocks are close to each other under your chest. And I'll come closer to the screen so you can see. So it's sort of like this. Perfect. So we're going to start there. It might be that we go to the next level. So turn the blocks, tip the blocks. So they are under your shoulder heads and your rib cage. And you can hold the block with your hands or kind of just relax your hands forward. Relax your neck. And breathe into the space. Right away, it might feel like your hands are starting to go numb. And this, I will attest in my own experience, This is very, very temporary. Let's take 2 more breaths like this. Okay. What happens when you come up onto the highest setting on the block? So same basic position, kind of this, 45-degree angle, blocks under the shoulder heads, under the pectoral muscles. So it's a back bend with your shoulders being pushed toward the ceiling, really. Not as easy to get your head comfortable. You can make a little basket with your fingers and let your chin rest there. Make sure the blocks are tipped in so you're not just getting jabbed with the corner of the block. There's more coverage jabbing. Now start to shift your upper body, very kind of isolated, right, left. So I have my fingers interwoven so my chin can rest on my fingers. It is creating a little bit of tension in my wrists and my hands. But the side to side movement helps to open the shoulders. Start to deepen your breath. Come back to that first method of inhaling for 6, pausing for 4, and then exhaling for 6. If you want to add the root lock, the belly lock, yes. And if you want to add the retention, the second retention, go for it. So it's inhale, retain, exhale, retain. Finish up the round you're on. And breathe normally. Now lift your chin, bring your hands to the floor, and remove your blocks. Remove your blocks. Rest, bring your left cheek to the floor, look to the right. And switch sides, turn your head so you're looking left, right cheek on the floor. Bring your hands under your shoulders, press up into an upward facing dog. Press into child's pose, hips to heels. Walk your hands to your sides. Bring your upper body upright. Hands, palms to prayer. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings live with ease. This is the metta prayer. Thank you so much, so much for being here for this Monday night yoga practice. Enjoy. I will see you next time. Namaste. Take some time if you have it, relax. Maybe it's bedtime, so you can unwind there. Thank you so much.